I got this really nice Phillips sunrise alarm clock as a gift years ago and loved it, but then eventually gave it to one of my kids and thought, okay, I would like to just get myself another one until I looked at the price. I checked online, and when I think these were originally maybe around $100, now between tariffs and inflation or whatever, they're up around $150, and I couldn't justify spending that much on just an alarm clock when all I really wanted was some LEDs to gradually turn on and wake me up in the morning. So there are tons of other ones on Amazon that are much, much cheaper. This one is less than $30, and I figured, okay, how bad could it be? Do you really need to spend more than $100 on an alarm clock? So hopefully this video will help you make the decision between the two and whether it is worth the money to go with a fancier version. So first off, just talking about features, I'm not going to go through every single bell and whistle on both of these, and you can read the manuals if you want to know every single thing they can do, but at a high level, they pretty much have the same functionality. They are both dual alarm, and the basic idea of a sunrise alarm clock is that it gradually turns on a light and will start playing a gentle sound you can select from a menu like running water, birds chirping, that sort of thing, instead of just blaring the moment the alarm goes off, so it wakes you up much more gently. So they both have two different alarms you can set. They also work as an FM radio. They also just work as a regular light instead of an alarm clock, and you can adjust the volume and the brightness of the alarm. So all of those features between the two are pretty much the same. In terms of what does that more than an extra $100 get you, if you are the kind of person who cares about aesthetics and design, I'd say the Philips one is definitely nicer. It kind of has this dome shape to the light, whereas this cheaper one is just a flat front surface with a bezel around the edge. It feels more solid, it's heftier, you can tell it's higher quality construction, and I know that really matters for things like phones or appliances like, say, refrigerators, washers, ovens, where you're opening and closing a door a lot, and the quality of the mechanical parts matters, but I kind of figure for an alarm clock, it's literally just sitting there, and yeah, you're pushing the buttons on it, but it's not going to get moved or tossed around that much, so I can't really justify the expense for just the higher quality build. And I also don't care about aesthetics that much. Again, this one's cool, like it sort of has this more seamless transition between the light part and the display, and this one just has a more clear little display panel here, so I don't know, this looks nicer and it's sturdier, but if this functions as an alarm clock, then I don't think that really makes this one worth the extra $120.
However, here is the deal breaker for me. I set these two clocks up side by side to do a time lapse to show the gradual effect of them turning on, and as you can see, the cheap one just sort of instantly turns on to this deep blood red. And that was bright enough, having it right on my nightstand, shining in my face, to just wake me up immediately. It didn't actually turn on gradually. And then over the course of 20 minutes, the video isn't really going to do it justice here because of my exposure settings weren't quite right, but I'll speed this up into a time lapse so you can see. It kind of just transitions to a really harsh, bright white. So it really isn't mimicking a gradual, gentle sunset with kind of warmer orange or yellow tones, whereas the more expensive Philips clock is. And you can see over on the right here, even though I'm getting some weird rolling shutter flicker effect with the light, this much more gradual and gentler, warmer tone with the Philips clock, even though this is playing at 30x speed. So in real life, this is going to be 30 times slower than this, and it is going to wake you up much more gently and gradually with a much softer, warmer tone to the light. So again, that was a deal breaker for me, just having this bright red light in my face wake me up immediately and then transition to just a really harsh, bright white, which kind of isn't what you want to wake up to. Again, I don't know if it's worth an extra $120 to get that soft, gradual transition. There were a lot of these on Amazon in more kind of the mid, like $60 or $70 price range, or maybe I just happened to buy a particularly crappy, cheap one, and there are $30 ones that will do this just fine. So if you have a comment or a suggestion for a good, cheap one that does a gradual, gentle wake up with the LEDs, go ahead and let us know in a comment below this video. Thank you.